Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to, or good afternoon, or good morning, wherever you are, and welcome to tonight's session, which is on the 8th of September, and we're in 2021. This is for the full year Fairplay Harp School students, and I'd love to welcome here live those of you that have come live: Beatrice, Elizabeth, Judy, Karen, Kimberly, Lisa, and Mike and Rosie. I know some of others of you may join as we go on, but I'd like to also welcome everyone because some of you will be watching the replay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through those of you who's everybody who started in January, first of all. So Hilary, Felicity, Beatrice, Mary, Lisa, Gail, Judy, Kerry, and Kate. Welcome back to the autumn term. Welcome back to you. You have your last term now in your full year, but remember you have 12 months to access stuff. So in theory, you kind of get another 12 months afterwards, just not without so much contact with me. And then newly to the full year program, we have Mike, Rosie, Karen, Elizabeth, Kimberly, and Melissa. So I'd love to welcome all you guys too. So I know not all of you here live. If you're watching the replay, welcome. Shall we say hi to everyone on the replay, guys, just so that they can feel welcomed by us as well? Hello,
everybody.
Hi. Great, fantastic. So tonight's really kind of a catch up in a way, because some of you I've not seen. Well, I've not seen a lot of you very much over the summer. And also, I want to give you an overview of the courses so that you can kind of just sort of start to, I'm sure you already have some plans, but start to really work out how you're going to navigate your way through your sort of studies over either the next term or the next 3 terms. And also, I just want to kind of make sure that you're really solid about which days and evenings that we have our live meetups so that you can jot them down in your calendar. I don't send out loads and loads of reminders. I'm not like very, very corporate about what I'm doing, if you like. So I always say to people, think of me as kind of your nutty harpist in your local village hall. I will always be there when I say I will be. You just have to trust me on that. But sometimes I won't necessarily get loads of reminders out. Okay, brilliant. So first of all, I'm going to go over the through the overview so that you just know sort of what to expect. So you can see in front of you, this is actually right through to Christmas next year. So I'm just going to try and sort of help you navigate through what's useful for you to know right now for the autumn term to start with. So for the autumn term, the biggest thing is that we have one of the main things that's going on. There's loads going on this term. That's actually the biggest thing to know. There's loads going on this term. So just let's look at what there's there, and you can take out what's good for you right now. The start harp, all of them are running, so level 1, 2, and 3. Okay, that's normal. That's how that always happens. In the autumn, the spring, and the summer, I always run all 3 courses simultaneously, as most of you are already aware. So if you are coming to the end of your year with me, then you probably want to be thinking about doing 3 if you haven't this autumn term, or at least subscribing to it so that you've got access to the course for looking at it later. If you are coming in fresh to this course, or you've just taken a level 1 or a level 2 with me, then you pick the level that's next for you in your journey, really. If you are completely new, and you might consider doing 1 and then 2 and then 3, or if you're quite an established harpist already, you might jump in at 2, but it is worth starting lower down than you maybe feel that you are, because you can just take the bits out of it that's useful for you, but you'll be able to take on board some other courses simultaneously. Do you see what I mean? So if you're not stretching yourself too much, you'll be able to do more than one course at the same time. So all levels 1, 2, and 3 start on the 19th of September, and you will get an invitation to the course next week. So your inbox will suddenly start getting all the invitations via Izuku, and then you can click on which ones you would like and just accept the ones you want and ignore the ones you don't want. So that's Start Harp level 1, 2, and 3. The other big 12-week course that's running in the autumn is Flourishing Harpist. Okay. Now, Flourishing Harpist works at all levels. It kind of is a level 4 for start harp people. It's gone 1, 2, 3, and then Flourishing Harpist. But because of Flourishing Harpist being created at the beginning of lockdown, I actually made it work for all levels, because I kind of I don't know, I brought in all my ensemble students as well, because everything that happened. So it works. I make sure everything starts at a foundation and then goes right up. And I've had teachers take the course as well. So if you have just begun, I would recommend taking it now, because it's actually not running until the following autumn. So even if you think, oh, but that's not, I was going to do 1, 2, and 3, join Flourishing Harpists, come along to the live sessions, get the course so that you can see it, and you may be very surprised. You may find it's the thing that you like best. It could even be, I think it could work to do that first before you even start harp, just because it's so multi-leveled. It's kind of almost like the textbook of all the things I wish that I'd known before I, got in too deep, as it were. And so I think it's a great one to take, whatever your level, Flourishing Harpist. Okay, so that one's running in the autumn too, exactly the same time as Start Harp, but I do recommend you all click accept on that invitation, whether you think you're going to come or not. The Flourishing Harpist live sessions are on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. British time. I think almost all of you have done the Start Harp course, but so just to go back on that, those ones are at 8 p.m. British time on Sundays. So just to go over that one more time, the Start Harp live sessions are on Sundays at 8 p.m. British time, and the Flourishing Harpist live sessions are on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. British time. Remember, you don't need to come to any of them live, because you can submit questions or homework in advance and still get the feedback afterwards. So if you can't come live, that just doesn't matter at all. I mean, it's nice for the camaraderie and the and our togetherness, isn't it? But if you can't, it doesn't mean you need to miss out on the study of it, the learning that you can gain from it. Okay, right, as I say, it's a very busy term, so brace yourselves, everyone. There are also 6-week courses. Okay, Pop with Pizzazz is going on this term. And the live sessions for that are on Mondays at 8 p.m. British time. Pop with Pizzazz, it will be alternating with Modes Reloaded. So I'm actually running those 2 courses. They're 6-week courses, but I'm running them over 12 because some people last term told me that it was a lot of information. And so I'm staggering them this term. For you guys, it's perhaps, you might want to just take one this term if you decide to, so that you're not having to think pop and then modes and pop and then modes. But see how you feel. Some of you will be ready to have all of this information straight away. What I would say with Pop with Pizzazz, and Modes Reloaded, if you've already taken those courses, then in the full year program, then remember that you've got that information anyway, so you don't necessarily have to subscribe to get the materials because you have them. But I recommend you do, because the handouts will be going into the course this term. So for those of you who have been in the full year with me and you've already attended Pop and Modes, you've already had the videos, but there's not been handouts yet, because in beta I always run them without handouts. I try and fix glitches, and then the next term I run them with handouts. So even if you just subscribe to it, so you can download a handout each week, and you might like to do that. For those of you who've just joined, don't worry, you don't need to bombard yourself. You can do this in the summer term. Look, so you can do Modes and Pop in the summer term. You don't need to do that this term. You don't need to overload yourself so much unless you would like to. You're welcome to, but you don't have to. You have another chance to do those. So there's that. There's one last thing I was going to say on that. I'm not wanting to confuse you all, but when they run in the summer term, those sessions will go over onto Wednesdays. Okay, so these are all at 8 p.m, but they will, in the summer term, those will be on Wednesdays for those of you in the full year. I can go over any of this again if you want me to. Okay, and then last but not least, we have the 2 courses that are going to run in the spring term, the new ones. So everybody, even if you're a full year that started in January, I'm putting you into these ones as a kind of, well, not as a bonus. One of them's a bonus, isn't it? And the other one is because it's been delayed. So you're going to do the spring, you're all invited, everybody here is invited to do the spring term Play Your Harp Out course and the spring term Prepare, Study and Perform in 6 weeks course. Those are only running once, so if you have just joined, my path to you would be, my recommendation would be, do Flourishing Harpist live, even if you only, even if you only do it so that you've got the materials and you download the handouts and maybe pop into some live sessions. And take, if you were wanting to, take one of the Start Harp levels as well. And that's going to be a lot to do. That might be, you can do anything you like, but that might be enough for you guys. If you are coming to the end of your year, I would definitely recommend you all do Flourishing Harpist if you haven't, because I actually think it's probably one of my best courses as well. So please don't miss it live. If you can, I would definitely come to that. And then, you probably would like to do the Pop and the Modes if you didn't do it last time, just so that you are squeezing it into your schedule. And at least so you get the handouts. And again, you can come back, you've got 12 months to review all of this. That sounds like a lot, doesn't it? But in addition to that, if you have any time, There is the virtual ensemble, which is free, and you can turn up to that or not. It doesn't matter. Okay, that's once a month. That's always the first Tuesday of every month. If and it's again at 8 p.m. British time. The one that's different is the immersion courses. Again, you all get invited to these, and these are at a different time slot. These happen from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. British time. Can you see there? I'll just highlight that. 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. British time. And they come out on Sundays on the second Sunday of each month. The second Sunday of each month. You get reminders for those, okay? So and you will get reminders for all our live sessions. It's just they won't always, you know, they'll come on the day or a day before, depending on when I get to my laptop to do it. But you will always get reminders for live sessions. And then last of all, some of you are not on Patreon. It's the one thing that's separate from the full year, which is that there is also a Q&A with patrons that happens on the third Tuesday of every month. But that's some of you in the full year program aren't on Patreon, which is absolutely fine. So those won't be for you. So I believe I've not actually emailed you this directly as a group. The reason being that it had all the costs on it, and I didn't want you to all think that I was trying to charge you again. But now I've explained it to you and you've seen it, I'll email it to you so that you've got it. And I'll add in the workshop times for you so that you've got it all, you know, that you can refer to. So that's the overview. Not much to do, right? You're going to be really bored, aren't you? Okay, there's a lot, I know it's a lot. I'm just going to check in with my list of what I wanted to talk to you about, because I think then after that we will jump in to coming around the circle. Yeah, okay. Last year I gave everybody a space into my the theory course, the technique booster course, sorry, the technique booster course. If any of you, I know lots of you that signed up for the year now actually already had been into that course, but if you haven't been and you'd like to come into it, send me an email and I will get you into that course as well. Just because it wasn't on the list, but it's a nice little one that you can just use if you think, I've forgotten about that. So you can jump in and have a look through that course. It's just a little booster sort of course. Fine, and last but not least, before I come around to chat to you all, this weekend, before this all kicks off, I'm running a HARP weekend virtually online. I usually run a HARP weekend at the Botanic Gardens, and I'm not doing it actually at the gardens again this year because of everything. And so it's online. You can access it. There's a schedule, so you can come, you know, at the times that I say. But most of the videos are pre-recorded, which means that you can access them at your leisure once they've been, you know, once they've arrived in the HARP weekend. Once they're there, you can then pick them up when it's good for you at a time that suits you. There are some live sessions, however. So if you want to, there's a bonus dynamic HARP session at 8:30 p.m. on the Saturday night, British time. So 8:30 p.m. British time, where we're going to learn a tune called Henrietta's Dream, which is a lullaby for a hedgehog, obviously. And then on Sunday there's the immersion, which is one of the things that you get access to anyway, where we're going to learn Henrietta's Dream will be in there as a lead sheet actually, and we're going to look at 50 ways to play a chord, 50 ways to play a C chord, in fact, just to kind of give you some ways of you working with lead sheets, hopefully some quick ins on that. And then on 8 p.m. on the Sunday, it's not live as such, as in I've pre-recorded it, but I will be there. I'm actually sending out a concert, which some of you have seen. Lisa, you've seen most of my concert. But if you haven't seen it, I'd love you to come and see it, because it's marking the launch of my new CD as well. So if you can come, that would be great. Brilliant, there we are. I think I've told you everything. So, for those of you who are here live, you have to ask all the questions that the people that aren't here wish they could ask, but they can't, okay? So you feel free to ask me absolutely anything that you feel you need to know right now to get the most out of your next autumn term, okay? Wherever you are in your year. And those of you, when I ask you to come on one at a time, you know, what I thought we could do is you could sort of say to me if you have a plan, you can tell me your plan. Okay, and if you don't have a plan, we will work one out together. And if you have been doing this for a while with me, perhaps you might be willing to share some tips for any of our new group members on how to navigate through this journey, because it's quite a lot of busyness, isn't it? There's a lot going on, so it's kind of you know, ways to you know, we'll talk about this in the when we're live in the courses, you know, but just ways to look after yourself and your HARP studies as you go, so that you don't get into a state of overwhelm or get stuck and all that kind kind of stuff. I think for me, the biggest thing is I love it when you can come live because we can then just chat about things and sort things out like as it happens, rather than, things can, something small can become something bigger, can't it, if you sit on it? So yeah, is it a problem shared is a problem halved, whatever they say. So yeah, if you can come along, if you're stuck on anything, then that's always brilliant. Okay, so who are we going to go to first? Kimberly, you're actually first on my square. Would you be willing to come up first? That would be amazing. Okay, so brilliant. Can I hear you, Kimberly, first of all? Hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello, I can see you. Hi there, how are you doing?
Oh, thanks. How are you?
Very good. So welcome. It's great to see you here. Thank you for joining this.
Oh,
I can
thank
add you in. It's exciting. So we've worked together before, I know. So you know the score really. We just got to work out your pathway, haven't we, through this
Yeah,
now?
yes. So I was thinking my plan right now was to start harp level 2 and to do flourishing harpist together,
Perfect.
see how good I can do, and then plunk in the immersions that I can along the way.
I think that sounds perfect for you because level two is the one that you need to focus in on. And then I think
Yeah,
flourishing harpist, even if, for now you kind of grab the handouts each week and come live, the workshops, we do a masterclass in flourishing harpist, and it's a little task every week, but I absolutely promise you, Kimberly, they work multi-level, so you'll be able to come and do those. And I think those of you who've taken flourishing harpist perhaps can jump in and share with your experience of the course, but I think it would be valuable at level alongside level two, but two will be your focus, won't it, as you go?
yeah, for sure. Just getting the basics of what comes next, I think, will be good.
Yeah.
And I still pick up something. Like I did the dynamic harps last night.
Yes.
The first time doing anything significant on this little harp, and the strings are so close together. And I had the A section down, but
Yeah.
I thought, no, keep trying the other ones. And sometimes I was all over the place because I was not getting the spacing, but it was still fun
Good
to
to have a go. Yeah.
I'll take that music back when I'm home and play it on my bigger harp because I think it
Yes.
would be fun.
Yeah.
So
Oh, lovely. I mean, you're
yeah,
right. I mean, there's always this thing of if you can just carry away one thing, one takeaway from anything that you do, you're still building up, aren't you, your knowledge base as you go. And I don't know whether Felicity arrived. Felicity hasn't come in tonight. Felicity's gone with the like do everything approach, hasn't she, guys? And she's just been doing like all of my courses. She's been doing all of Deborah's courses. She's been doing all of her Harps Northwest courses, like everything. And like I think she must be doing hours and hours a day at her harp, and she's kind of in this experiencing it, I believe. I'm sorry, Felicity, you're watching the replay and you're like, why is she talking about this on my behalf? Felicity, feel free to tell me I'm wrong, but I believe Felicity's kind of experiencing spiral learning like hugely because she's like, all this information comes at her all the time. She's playing all the time, and it is one way is to completely immerse ourselves in something. Like if you go to trying to learn a language, and I believe I've never done this, but if you go and live in the country and you're absolutely like surrounded, then you really really get into it. So that is one approach as well. Yeah, and because of that, sorry, just taking out the one little thing. If you learn one word because you were sitting in a restaurant next to someone speaking French, then great, and it's the same thing here, isn't it, with our harp playing? So yeah, awesome.
on that at Somerset as well, because the courses that I did, even yours, I was okay. I couldn't get all of it, but I got enough, and then I can take time afterwards and go back and practice. So it's been really helpful just to
Yeah,
try it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And it's all about our mindset. And, you have the perfect, you've got the perfect mindset there being like, I'll get what I can. And, there's other bits that I'll come to later. And that is totally what music learning is like, isn't it? So that's
Yeah.
brilliant. Marvelous. Embracing the spiral learning. Okay, so Kimberly, it sounds like you're sorted. That's fabulous. And hopefully someone will say something about flourishing harpists at some point for you as well as we go around. Marvelous. Thank you. Okay, Judy, may I come to you next? Is that okay, please? Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, welcome. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, it's been I took a bit of a break this summer. I think I needed it. I'm an avid gardener, so I have a huge vegetable and flower garden, so I just needed to spend some time doing that. But I was in at the Dynamic Harps Ensemble last night, and I just couldn't believe how itchy I am, how hungry I am to get back.
Ah.
It's awesome. I've missed it for sure. So I took Pop with Pizzazz, which I loved.
Great.
I
Yeah.
haven't done modes, so I think I need to do the modes course. I don't know whether I'm going to like it as much as Flourishing Harpist and Pop with Pizzazz, but I almost, I feel I need to do modes, but I really want to do pop with pizzazz and flourishing harpist. So because
Well,
I've taken those
yeah.
two before,
Yeah, I was
maybe it
going to
won't.
say because you've taken the two before, you can pick and choose, can't you? So I mean, I think you could do I think you could do that as long as you're willing to embrace the spiral learning feeling and the fact that you're not going to come away having memorized a piece ready to perform, are you? At the end of this 3 months,
No.
if you do all those
Yeah.
things, because you're going to get one piece a week. Through Flourishing Harpist and one piece through Modes and Pop because they're alternating, but you know my teaching approach now, and you know the way these courses work, so there's no surprises for you on that. It will be theory, stuff that takeaways that you can use in any piece, including in the modes a bit. In some ways the modes is the out of all the courses I've ever written, it's the course that's the most kind of here is a piece and we'll learn it in some respects. So actually maybe that would be a nice restful course as well amid all the others. But I why don't you come live to all of them? Why don't you click, accept those three, and then you get to look into modes. And if you don't love it so much, the pop course is massive, isn't it? I mean, it's this
Uh, it,
spider web of stuff. I mean, and I'm not finished. There's more to go in there. So and I'm still pop club. I'm still thinking of pop club. I'm hoping I might be able to get a Tuesday night going in 2022 on that. But yes, I think if you loved pop, don't it's come and do it because it will be different again this term. I know it will. I know that you'll find different things from it too. So yeah,
this
go for it. Go for the three, and then you can pick out which one works for you the best, and then you'll have the pieces from the modes course, won't you, to take away with you.
so for those of you who are new, don't worry about trying to finish everything every week. Just do what you can and keep up, and then you can fill in later on. And that's what my advice would be. Like, don't feel disappointed if you don't finish something. That's okay. You do what you can and then move on to it. And I never dreamed that I would like pop music on the harp. Like, nobody buys a harp with that in mind. But I was shocked at how much I enjoyed it, and the people in it are much more accomplished than I am. And I learned so much, and a lot of them are into acoustics too. So, I'm trying to pick up some information about that too. So, for those of you who are new, be sure to take it next summer because you'll be shocked at how much you really enjoy the rhythm and the beat and what you can do on a harp. It's amazing. So I
Cool,
encourage.
great. Good. Yeah, I think it's a really fun course, and it gives you ideas, I think, Judy, as well, doesn't it, that you can use in other styles of music anyway. It's not just
Oh yes,
you could
for sure.
even if you came away not a pop convert, pop harp convert at the end of it, you can probably still take away information that's going to be useful for your harp playing life anyway, I hope. There's a
It
lovely
certainly it improves your techniques for sure. I mean, it helps you with all kinds of different things that will apply to
yeah,
other harp playing for sure.
lovely. Oh,
So
thank you, Judy. These are wise words. Thank you very much. Appreciate them. Thank you very much. Brilliant. Well, I shall see you in 3 courses then this term. Okay. We're going to do it. Amazing. Lovely. Okay, thank you. Brilliant. Karen, would you like to come up next? Would that be okay? Thank you. Welcome, Karen.
Sure.
Hi.
I'm one of your newbies.
Yes, lovely.
Having found you at Somerset
Yes,
and loved your courses there.
thank you.
And as I'm listening to you and to everyone, I thought it would be best for me to start with the Start Harp Level 1 and Flourishing Harpist,
Lovely.
and then map my way out after following that. I do have an in-person teacher where I live,
Okay,
and
brilliant.
so I see her once a week, and we primarily concentrate on the Suzuki books.
Oh, brilliant. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm looking to grow
brilliant.
beyond that. She's a fantastic teacher. I'm looking forward to being with you
Lovely,
as well.
fantastic. Well,
Yeah.
I think quite a few people have in-person lessons as well, and they
Oh,
always seem to tell me it complements. And yeah, I know that there's one lady, Jane, who keeps saying to me that her teacher keeps every time she says something, her teacher says something, she says Shelley says that. She's like, good, okay, good. So, it's always good to have reminders. I feel very much as well that, when we're becoming harpists, we're all becoming harpists all the time. I'm still becoming a harpist. We're always finding our feet as we go. The more people we can experience teaching from and finding out from, the it helps us because we hear the same things in slightly different ways, or we find things that unlock a door for us slightly differently, or we find something that inspires us to a particular way of doing something for ourselves. So, listening to everything and then choosing your little path as well is great. So
Mhm.
it seems to work for people. So great, that's lovely. I think you're very wise. Start Hut One will give you will you'll get used to me through Start Hut One, and it will be because you've already been playing. It'll be simple, I think, for you. So you'll just be able to kind of look at that material and go, oh yeah, I can do that. That's great.
I can consolidate.
Yes, that's exactly, yeah. Hopefully consolidate without being too much work. And then Flourishing Heart will give you that multi-leveled, it'll sort of give you an in on everything, and then also give you things that will be fit to shelve for later. But if you think of this as, think of it like, I talk about Flourishing Harpist as a library of ideas. I think all my courses possibly are, but if you think of Flourishing Harpist as a library of ideas for harp playing life, that puts it into perspective, I think, for how much of it I'm expecting everyone to grasp at the first go. I'm just kind of not expecting everyone to grasp at the first go. I'm expecting us to like kind of touch on the ideas and then know where it is to go and look back on when we need those ideas again and when we're ready for more. So that sounds like a great path. Brilliant. And then you can do all the 6-week courses as you go through the year, can't you then?
Yes, yes. Looking
Sounds
forward to
perfect.
those.
Marvelous. Thank you so much, Karen. Brilliant.
Thank you.
And really great to have you here. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Marvelous. Okay, may I come to Lisa next, please? Is that okay? Unless your husband's on the phone still. No, you're all right. Okay, brilliant. Welcome back, Lisa. Great to see you.
Good to see you too. Thank you. Yeah, your concert was amazing. That's
Oh, thank
so
you.
yeah. Anyone waiting to see it's fantastic.
I'm
And
I'm looking forward to sharing it and seeing how it goes down.
it was
Thank
so
you.
good.
Thank you.
Um, I guess my advice is because I get overwhelmed quickly and easily, and I'm like incredibly bad at time management, is just maybe schedule in some time, find some time where you can at least watch and listen to the lessons, and then if you have time to practice, schedule that in as well. Because I did get behind and floundered, but that's me.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
No,
me.
but you found a path that works for you, and I think it's that's really sensible. And I think Lisa, am I right in thinking you try and do all the videos, and then if you get time to, you do the practice video afterwards? That's
Yeah,
which is kind of how I wrote them in mind of how I wrote them to be done, is one at a time with that in mind. But so that's great. Yeah,
yeah.
a great system. Good.
And I've changed my mind about 17 billion times all summer.
I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, right. What's the
I don't
current?
know what I want to take yet. So, and I know I can't do two at once, and I want to do all four.
Remember, you have all these materials after this, after our live sessions,
Yeah.
and also those of you who are in your last term. Remember that all the retakes I set at £75, so you can do any of these courses again for £75 if you want to do them live because you've already paid for them in full. I know that you haven't, but I'm
Yeah.
classing you as people who've paid in full. So Lisa, if like next autumn you're like, I want to do Flourishing Harpist again, you can without breaking the bank. So have that in the back of your head. I hope that
Okay.
helps a little. So okay, what's
Does
your
help.
current version of plan?
Oh, well, I really did enjoy the modes, but I just stuck to the modes. Um, so Judy, I think you will like them. It's different than the other stuff, but it's still super interesting, and I understood the modes for the first time ever.
Woohoo!
So it was so helpful.
Good.
Um, And because of that, I didn't take the pop with pizzazz at the same time, but I still want to finish two. I don't know. I'll change my mind 7 more times. I'll just
Okay,
sign up for everything, and whatever you see me at is what I'll be doing.
fine. I mean, you can sign up for everything. You can come to everything, but and then maybe by the second week, Lisa, you'll get like more of a clear idea of what you want to really focus on. But you've been through Flourishing Harpist, haven't you? So it's the pop one that you've missed. Is that right?
Yep, pop is not the only one I've missed, but I haven't done any of the pop at all.
Yeah,
So
sure. Okay.
maybe, yeah.
I think there is a lot of useful information in there, and I think the live sessions are quite fun for the pop course. Maybe some of you've done the pop course, you know, like Judy, you've done the pop course. You know, I get you to write a pop song, and everybody starts the session going, "No, we're not going to do that." And then by the end of it, you know, we've written a mini part of a pop song. So, and it's possible, and I will guide you through that. So I think, you know, if you've not, come and subscribe for that. Even if you only turn up, download the sheets and turn up to the live sessions, I think you'd actually still get something out of the pop session that way.
Okay.
So yeah, that would be great. And then anything else, you know, whichever other course you feel, which is the 12-week one you're most drawn to at the moment.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Well, you'll just see me at everything for a while until I figure out my path.
That's fine. And please email me if you need me to help you any more on that or finesse it. Okay. Brilliant.
Thank-
I look forward to seeing you then at everything. Okay. Brilliant. Okay, fantastic. May I come to Elizabeth next, please? Yeah, is that okay? Fantastic. Elizabeth, welcome. Oh, I've just made you huge. I will join you. Hang on a minute. Hi. Okay. Welcome. It's great to see you here. So
Yes, I'm so excited. It may be 8 p.m. where you are, but it was like 3 p.m. where I am. So I had to zoom home from work and get those dogs out and get
oh,
them
okay.
fed. But I wanted to do that dynamic harpist, but I'll be able to probably join you. I had to pick up little Chester's heart medicine. But I'll do it next week.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
I know, especially where I heard Kimberly saying it was a blast. I'm like, no, I missed it.
It's still on Facebook, and actually it's a really bad version on Facebook Live because it's one done on my phone at a quirky angle. But you can go and catch it on Facebook Live if you want to. It's not the same as being there live, I know, but you can if you want to. Go and watch
See
it.
all my friends.
Yeah,
Some new faces too.
So Elizabeth,
Well,
what do you reckon? What's your path going to be, do you think, this term?
I'm probably right where between Felicity and Lisa are. You know, like, I'm out there all over the place, but you know, I'm learning. But I'm definitely gonna repeat level 2 because
Okay.
I feel like I want to really be solid in it before I move on to level 3. And
I think that's
you know,
great.
Judy's advice about, you know, don't panic, and if you don't get it all, you know, it's the truth. I felt like I kept up until the very end, and then I felt like I lost something. I don't know, but
Oh,
I don't know really what my path is. I love all your options.
okay.
You know, again, where your times are, I might be a little late, but
That's fine. I will keep an eye so that I
okay.
can, yeah. If
Yes.
I know that you might always be coming like half an hour late, then I will keep an eye. Just sometimes
Okay.
be a little tiny bit patient, because if I'm mid spiel, I may not notice for a few moments that someone's waiting in the waiting room. But yeah, that's fine. That's not a problem.
And
Okay.
then for me,
Yeah.
it's finding where to sign up for all the different things. That's what confuses me. Is this one sheet you're sending out even for immersions, or is it?
You get bombarded at the beginning of term by me. I will send you an invitation to every course. So all of you,
Okay.
basically, I put all your emails straight into all my courses every time. And if you think, oh, she sent me a link to modes, I'm not going to do that this term, you can just ignore it or decline it, okay? But if it's, you know, Start HARP 2, then you can be like, yes, please, and click on the yes, or the immersion, yes, please. As I say, you will get invitations to everything. You can either accept them all, because as you know, they go into your learning library, don't they? So even if you said yes to all my courses and then put them in, they'd appear in your learning library so that you can jump in whenever you want to. But personally, if I was doing this, I think what I would do is I just click the courses that I wanted to take live to start with, so that you don't get too bombarded with materials, because as you know, you get the reminders, don't you, and all that kind of stuff as we go through the courses. So see how you feel, but I would definitely, as you say, sign up to level 2 then as your retake. Why don't you sign up to Flourishing Harpist as well, but with only the idea of just like even watching the overview and downloading the handouts, so that and if you want to, coming live so that you can sort of participate in the workshops, but completely with Judy's very wise words in your head of, you won't be expecting to learn the piece every week in level 2 and Flourishing Harpist. That's not going to happen. But what can happen is that you might learn, do level 2 in very detail because you've done it once before, so you can do all the bits that you feel that you didn't get time to last time. And then from Flourishing Harpist, you can pick up kind of the underlying ideas. For instance, one of the weeks is all about working out your own fingering in pieces of music. Well, you know, you can't ever learn that for every single piece instantly, I mean, or forever, but you know, having that week's that handout, so that if you get stuck working something else out for yourself one day, you know there's a handout that you've got where I go through, you know, the different ways of kind of figuring things out, then that's going to be useful for your library of ideas. And you might all guys want to have folders for the courses. I don't know how everybody sets up their work, but I have a file for each of our courses rather than one great big one. So then, you know, you've got your library of ideas for later, Elizabeth. So yeah, if you're up for that, that would be my advice, would be to do 2 and Flourishing this term. And then you can come on Sunday night and Wednesday night. And of course, they both have Q&As alternate weeks. So you can bombard me with questions as well. And because you're full year students, you know, never feel like, oh, that's a question not related to this course on the Q&A nights, because everything's so interrelated, isn't it? It's always relevant, really. I mean, unless you're saying to me, Shelley, is you know, is this a typo on this page here? I might sometimes say to you, let's look at that at the end of the class together, whatever. But in general, you know, everything is so interrelated. It doesn't matter which courses you ask me your questions, to be honest. So yeah, shall we do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to do those 2. Now, the other things too were the other things that you have, pop with pizzazz and the modes. Like what is the difference between them if we were going to do one instead of the other?
Or? The other, well, the modes course, the pop course, I don't do real pop tunes because of copyright, although I probably could. But anyway, I've ghosted. I've made fake pop tunes, Elizabeth. So, they're like, you know, they'll be like that. I do. Is it The Lion Sleeps Tonight? I've written The Leopard Leaps in Sight, as a fake version of the pop song. But what we do is we go through, like, I show you the chord progressions. I show you some of the ways that I would interpret it. Some of the techniques I might use. So I know, Judy, you mentioned that, you know, you learn different techniques and things. We talk about, like, using stab placing and different rhythms under the pieces and things. It's quite, I think it's possibly it's stuff I've never really been taught, the pop course. It's kind of things that I've learnt on the job and now I'm sharing. So it's slightly alternative, perhaps. I don't know, but I think it's fun, and different, and definitely pop music. But when I say pop, I'm using that term broadly speaking, because I am talking a little bit about rock and a little bit about cheesy pop and love tunes, and, you know, and also, you know, whatever, a big mixture of stuff there. With the modes course, I'm talking through the theory of, it is very different. It was a, you know, course on request. Lots of people said to me, can you teach us about modes? So I'm talking about in level 2. Do we do modes in level 2? Just briefly, we do, don't we? We do Dorian and. So you've done yeah. So we've done a couple of the modes in level 2, and of course, you know, major scale and the natural minor scale give us our Aeolian. They give us 2 of the modes as well. So we do the other modes. So we do each one, and then we do a tune in each of the modes. So it's each week we go, you know, we do one, we exist in a mode. I think we start with Dorian. I think we do. Yeah, we start with Dorian. I give you a piece in the mode. We talk about the theory of the mode, and we talk about improvising in the mode. We talk about chords that you might use to improvise. So it's kind of, I suppose, you could just take it and learn a tune a week. You could take it and just learn the theory. You could take it and learn some very basics about improvising. So it is, as Judy said, quite different from all the other courses. But in comparison to pop, I would just say it's a gentler course and more theoretical, and pop's perhaps more, I don't know now, Judy, somebody else maybe have to help me on this. Pop's, you know, a little bit more sort of techniques, and I'm just thinking about more general things. There's some writing in there as well, how to write, you know, pop, and which would go across to other genres as well, but just, you know, foundations of writing. There's still theory in that too, because we do chord work and we do like the add 2 chord and the 9th chord and things. They're both quite juicy. I'm not really making this much clearer for you. I would say, you know, if
I,
you have a particular draw, you know, if you've really enjoyed doing the modes in level 2, then take the modes course maybe. And if you you know, if you like pop tunes, or you just want to, you know, work out some alternative stuff that you could do on the harp, then I think the pop course, I wouldn't miss the pop course, I would say, but then I'm biased because I think the pop course is the course that I've been itching to write. So yeah, please come to that at some point. But you have got, don't forget, you've got, because you've joined now, you can take it now, or you can take it in it's like May time, isn't it? You can take it in the summer term next year. So you have got the option of
I
not.
would recommend that you, if you're brand new, that you maybe take it in the summer, because the pop course, I would kind of went along for the ride. I took it in January, and I was a much newer harpist then, and the other people were much better harpists. So like I was, a lot of the stuff was so new to me. So I think my recommendation would be for you to take it in the summer after you've got some other stuff under your belt, because it's quite different, but it is, you know, the tunes are so catchy and it's really cool to do. So I wouldn't miss it over the
Yeah.
year, but I would think you do it a bit later and
And
get some of the other stuff under your belt first.
possible that the modes course is slightly gentler ride actually as well. So if you're thinking of doing one 6-week course this term, it might be that modes is slightly gentler.
See, because this is what I do. I go into something that's way beyond me, and then I get frustrated because I'm not technically there. So in my brain, you know I
Yeah,
should
you
take
know
the
exactly
modes,
what
but
you
my
want.
heart, like, oh, that pop sounds awesome because
But you're not going to miss the pop. You aren't going to miss it. And, you know, the other thing you can do is you can click yes to everything, but only actually study through one of the courses this term. Because if you click yes to everything, like Lisa's going to, from what she said, then, you know, you've got that option of dipping in whenever you want to anything. You aren't like denying yourself, although forbidden fruit is always good for motivation, of course, isn't it? So, you know, you might want to like leave pop hanging till next term. But you know, then if you did that, maybe then you'd feel happier that you could sneak in and just have a look whenever you felt like it. Maybe that's the way to tame yourself, is to like say you can, but you're going to choose not to. Maybe that's, I don't know. Only you guys know yourselves. You've got to, you know, play to your characters, haven't you, on this as well? But definitely definitely Flourishing Harpers, you got it there. And then, you know, those 6-week courses are going to come up. You're going to get a chance to do them later.
okay,
But
awesome.
you're welcome.
Looking forward to
Of course, you're
it.
welcome to all of them. We can see each other every night of the week. I would be delighted with that. Do what's good for you. It's not quite every night. It would be Sunday. If you do dynamic harps as well, then it can be so Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday this term. And then in the spring and summer, it will be Sundays, some Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. The live sessions. Yeah. Brilliant. Is that as clear as mud, Elizabeth, or are you're going to click you're going to click yes to everything? I can feel it coming.
Ah, knows me well.
And then you can just peep in, can't you? You can just have a little peep in. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, are you happy there? You know sort of
I'm
what you're doing.
thrilled.
Amazing. It's
I'm
lovely. And
thrilled.
yeah, brilliant.
I'm
Great.
happy to see everybody
Yeah.
and some new faces.
Fantastic. Thank you, Elizabeth. Marvelous. Bravo.
Thank you.
Okay, may I come to Beatrice next, if that's okay, please? I don't know who's
Okay.
hiding behind iPhone. It might be Melissa, but that's fine. Beatrice, welcome. Lovely to see you. I've not seen you for a while, so it's really great to see you. Are you
Yeah.
okay?
I'm okay. I was a bit overwhelmed and I needed to have a break completely. I haven't played the harp very much.
Okay.
It just was all too much for me.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And I'm just thinking, how do I best spend the last term?
Yes.
Yeah, in a way, I almost would like to have the last term next term, but you know, I'll do it. Let's just do the flourishing harp, I thought.
I think, Flo, I was going to say,
Again.
if there was one thing that I would say to do for those of you who are in your last term, do the Flourishing Harpist course, because I think and you know you're really accomplished musician, Beatrice. You've got you know, you play piano and organ, is it, or is it piano but you're on the organ? Anyway, you know your music theory. So the lovely thing about Flourishing Harpist is it works multi-level, and it's kind of just like this library of ideas that you'll be able to take away and use all the ideas forever. If you don't have time to learn a piece, it won't matter, because the ideas behind it all are just designed to work with any piece. And I think
Yeah.
somebody said to me, I can't remember who it was, but somebody said to me that they found, if they were studying a piece of music, so like Karen, you said you're working with your one-to-one teacher, you might have a piece of music you're working on, and I sort of think that for most weeks in Flourishing Harpist, there'd be something from Flourishing Harpist that would feed into any piece that we're doing. So Beatrice, if you decide, you could even say to yourself, I'm going to focus on, I want to learn one piece of music, I want to work on at Kinkham a bit more this term or whatever. But then you can use Flourishing Harpist to inform you as you learn that piece.
Yeah.
And that's
I think that's probably enough. But I did the pop with pizza, and you said you have the information sheet this time.
Yes, the handouts for modes
So-
and pop I will put
Yeah.
together as we go through the courses this time. So each week.
Yeah.
So yes, so those of you who did pop with pizzazz and modes reloaded, even if you're not going to take it live this term, I would recommend just clicking yes, and then you can download the handouts each
Yeah,
week.
yeah. I think I just want to do the Flourishing Harp, but I want to do the others, that I get all the information and then I can actually go back to it.
Yeah.
Because your videos are wonderful, really.
I'm really glad, and the thing is, Beatrice, as well, you've got another year to access all these materials after this. So this is just the time, even if you just came to all the live sessions for the autumn and didn't do any of the courses, you could just come to all the live sessions, couldn't you? And then you could watch the videos, over the next year as well. So there are different ways of finding your way into the materials that works for you. But I think that's a great idea to focus on flourishing for you, and then get the handouts for the others. That sounds perfect.
Yes. And obviously like to have sometimes the private lesson too.
Yes, those of you that have in your final term, you need to book your private lessons with me as well. So I promise I don't bite. No one's taken me up at all. None of you have come and had a one-to-one lesson yet. And those of you who have just started, I've actually suggested we wait till starting in January for the one-to-ones. But if you do want your one-to-one straight away, you are welcome to. You can have it any point over the year. The only reason that I said that was because I've got 8 one-to-one lessons to squeeze in for all these guys who haven't done theirs yet. But okay, Beatrice, so yes, drop me an email on that and just send me some dates and times that might work for you, or we can come up with a plan.
Yes.
Brilliant.
And then sometimes I will pop in when I have the time to listen to, but I won't do the work.
That's fine. You can just tell me your
just a flourishing yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
What I want to work on.
Marvelous. Great. I look forward to working with you through that then.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Brilliant.
Yeah. Thank you.
Where shall I come next? May I come to Gail next? Because Gail's come on screen. Hi, Gail. How are you doing? Nice to see you.
Hi.
Welcome.
Nice to see you and everyone else as well.
Fabulous.
So I'm thinking for myself, maybe it is Flourishing Harpist.
Perfect.
And
yes.
I've never done the 6-week classes live. So I don't know if I have all of that time, but I'd like to try that as well.
Fine, brilliant. So then that's great, because then you'll be doing what we're doing Monday nights and Wednesday nights then through this term.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Well, what I would say is Flourishing Harpist, you've just heard me talk about that library of ideas approach. So that's that's hopefully got little ideas that you can take for any piece just as you go through that. I do give out a piece once a week. You've heard me say this, Gail, before, that if I didn't give a piece every week, I feel no one would take my courses, but they're not actually, you can do the courses and get the goodness out without learning the piece. And with the pop, there's a lot in pop, okay? So it's quite sprawled out. So as in, you can pick and choose what you're interested in through the pop. And with modes, that's very guided and it's a bit calmer, I think. Just by the music, I think. Just the nature of the modes made it come out calmer. I think it did it for itself. But it's kind of theory based, and then you've got the pieces. So you can just pick and choose with those ones, can't you? But I think it'll be really interesting. I'd love to hear from you afterwards how it was doing those two simultaneously as well.
Very good.
Come along for the ride. That sounds good.
Right. And the other thing I will definitely do is schedule my one-on-one with you.
Perfect. Brilliant. Please do. And so drop me
Okay.
an email and send me, you can say to me, I'd like to do it this month or next month, and you can tell me some days that might be good, and we'll find something that works for us both. That would be lovely.
That's great.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's really nice to see you again. Marvelous. Thank you. Okay, brilliant. I shall come to, who haven't I heard from? Shall I come to Mike and Rosie? So we have a team here, guys. So I'll let you guys introduce yourselves, and welcome to the full year. We know each other already, I know, but very warm welcome to this class. It's just not wanting to unmute for you, is it? There we are. I think it has now. No, not quite yet. Would you like me to, oh, there we are. I've sent you an invitation. You might have a pop-up now. Yes,
All right. Okay.
marvellous. Hello, welcome. Love to see you guys again.
Yes, it's good to be back.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We've had a break over the summer, and we're in Edinburgh because our grandson's in hospital, so we're supporting the family here. So I'm planning to go back this weekend and grab a harp.
Oh, good. Yes,
And bring it back.
So you're going to bring one back. That's brilliant. Good.
It may not. We may not have a lot of time to play it.
No. of course.
Anyhow,
Yeah.
we'll see how we get on.
Yeah.
Well, we've done level 2 twice now and benefited from that. And I think what we'd like to do, both of us, I think, is to move on to level 3.
Perfect.
And probably, I was thinking originally that I'd try and do flourishing harp later, but your advice seems to be to do them both at once. So
Yeah, I mean, every time I
don't
say
know.
things like that, I'm like, should I have said that? I mean, you guys, obviously, you've done level 1 and level 2, and you are totally ready for level 3. It's possible that you could take Flourishing Harpist and then go back to level 3, because I don't think you would experience it as having bits of your jigsaw missing, because level 3 is so much about like learning levers and modulating. We go around the circle of fifths. We talk about changing and things like that. We do some techniques like rolled chords and things, but I think you've done that through the Technique Booster course, you see. So I think you guys have probably been introduced to most of the concepts. So it's just possible, if you feel, because you know what my courses are like. You are under no illusion that if you do both, it's not going to be easier than just doing one, is it? I mean, it's just so you might decide. You can sign up to both of them, and then you might decide when you've done a little bit of both of them, you might think, do you know what, I'm going to focus on Flourishing Harpist this term because it's live, and then come back to doing 3 in the spring. That is a possibility, and I genuinely think that would work. No one's done that path yet though, so I can't promise, but I'm pretty sure that would work. But so why don't you sign up? Why don't you accept yes for both of them? Peep into them both, and then just definitely choose one that you're going to learn pieces with and one that you're not. That would be my advice for anyone who's doing the flourishing and the Start Harp course. Everybody always tells me it's too much to learn everything the first time through anyway. The idea is the spiral learning idea. So if you do level 3 and you do the pieces in level 3, with Flourishing Harpist, just do the theory of it rather than trying to learn 2 pieces each week. Do you see what I mean? And I think that way your sanity will remain intact. So that's my thoughts. Any questions on that, or anything else? Oh, you've muted again, Mike, actually.
Sorry.
That's okay.
And I was thinking the 6-week courses could be left until next year, really.
I think that's really wise, if you can bear to. I know lots of you are like I want to do them all, but I think if you can bear to leave them to the next.
I was going to ask about.
Aren't you? Yeah.
I mean, I don't use Rose's harp very much nowadays. I started with it, of course, last year in July, but and I bought my 22-string harp in October.
Yeah.
And I've been using that ever since. So I was going to ask how much I can do with the 22 harp, on the 22 string.
In 3, that's a very good point, because in 3 I asked for 3 octaves. Is that, you've got 3 octaves though, haven't you, Mark?
I've got 3 octaves, yes.
Yeah, and you've got levers.
And I've got levers on it, everything.
In that case, in level 3, you can do everything.
Okay.
Flourishing Harpist, I'm hesitating. Kate, can you help me on this one? I actually I'm having a mental block as to.
I think you can do everything, because I think Fee did.
On Flourishing Harpist.
Fee did at least half of it, didn't she?
She did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I suspect I did. I'm just having I'm having a brain freeze moment on whether I made it. If I didn't, the theory on it all fits. What I'm not 100% sure on is whether I just have to, when I'm writing pieces to fit on that, I have to limit how far I go down basically in the bass, don't I? So I have a hunch that some of the pieces might not, but I maybe did them. I can look in and check. So the answer I can give you now is that you'll be able to do all the theory and all the ideas behind it. Some of the pieces might have to be adapted. If they do, Mike, feel free to tell me when you say, Shelley, week 3, the piece doesn't fit on my harp, and I'd be quite keen to go in and adapt it to make sure that it does. If I didn't do it the first
Okay.
time round, I'd quite like to make sure that my courses do work on the 3 octave harps, because the whole set out for Start Harp was to make it less elitist and make it so you didn't have to buy a big expensive harp. So I'd actually really like to go back in. So that's what I would like to say, is hold me to account on it. If they don't work on your harp, let me know and I will fix them so they do.
Okay.
There you go.
Sounds good.
Cool. Brilliant.
Um,
I think the only thing I'd like to add is that we're uncertain. Oh, I'm uncertain about when I can really start into this properly because of where we are at the moment.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll be back home, within the next couple of weeks, but that's not definite yet. So
No.
I may be a bit delayed in starting. We'll see how things go.
Will you share your harp, Mike?
Yes. Well,
oh, well, of course.
Okay, fine. Yeah. So you might get a little bit of time. It's more the time problem then that's going to.
I think it's more the time problem, and the availability problem. But we'll see.
And Rosie's quite prepared to share hers too. So
that's very kind, Rosie.
But if we're playing together, of course, then we're limited a bit.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Well, if you do end up missing the beginning of it, if you can, at least watch the introduction videos each week, kind of what we've covered.
Right.
And I would say, with level 3 for the first time, if you do that, you will need to quite thoroughly go over the beginning, because it's quite theory heavy at the beginning, isn't it, Kate? Because we start with all the foundations of the circle of fifths and things. So sometimes I say, just skip over it, but actually I think with level 3 you really do need to watch them thoroughly. But you may find that because the theoretical stuff that you'll need to carry forward to be able to access the later on weeks, you might find you can get enough out of it from watching. So even if Kate, you talked about in the past doing hoovering and listening to things, haven't you? So even if you can sneak in doing it, just listening to some of the sessions while something else is going on, easier said than done with small people around, I know, but it's just a thought. Yeah.
Anyway,
keep in touch, basically, so that I make sure I can help you so that you can make this work.
Okay, we're certainly looking forward to starting again anyway.
Brilliant. Excellent. Yeah, I missed all you guys over the summer. It's been strange.
Yeah.
It's been great to get back to the regular sessions.
Do you have a program for the immersions at the moment? Do you have,
only up until Christmas. So if anybody, and this is in part because I haven't collated all the requests, which means if you have a request, there is still time. So feel free to ask me and email me if you've got an immersion idea. And because I need to get I imagine I'll get these out I'll try and get them out by November, the beginning of November, the 2022 immersions, but I haven't got that far yet. Yeah.
Okay.
Brilliant, thank you.
I'll try and fit in over the weekend a little because I'll be going home. But,
yes, okay. So you can come to the live
but
session.
I'm not sure how much I'll do yet.
Okay, fine.
Because I need to gather a lot of things to bring back. Anyway.
Of course. So, well, with the immersion, you'll get the replays just like you have done in the past, so you can watch them in your own time. And the videos that I'm putting up into Facebook will be in Facebook for at least a week, if not longer. Yeah.
Right. Good.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you in the next sessions then, you guys. Thank you.
Right.
Fantastic. Right, who haven't I spoken to? I know I'm now 2 minutes over, but there's 2 of you I haven't spoken to. Felicity, I've not spoken to you, and Kate, I've not spoken to you. So Felicity, I know you missed my beginning blah, 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 but basically I'm just sort of, I've shown everyone through the program, and I'm just trying to see what your plan is for the autumn, and if you need any help tweaking your plan, or if you're good to go. So first of all, it's lovely to see you. Welcome back. Would you like to unmute?
Yeah,
there?
Yes.
Sorry?
Yeah, right.
Fabulous.
Yes. Sorry, I'm going to Iona tomorrow morning at about 5:45, which is why I was like, trying to do everything.
Oh no.
As well. And I couldn't watch the garden afterwards because it's dark now these days.
Yes,
so,
yes.
Yeah. So that's why I'm a bit on the back foot today.
That's absolutely fine. You know the score anyway. So it's really just what do you have a plan for your last term? What are you going to dip into, Felicity? And I know what the answer is going to be.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to do the Flourishing Harpist.
Perfect. Great.
And
Good.
I want to do the modes again.
Amazing, lovely.
because I sort of felt as if I dipped into those, but I really like them.
Okay.
I'd like to really do more with actually learning the tunes for level 3, but then I may have to sort of choose, but I want to sort of commit to learning some tunes, I think.
Brilliant. Okay.
I
So
mean, I understand quite a lot of the theory stuff already, you know, I mean,
yeah, you've
that's,
done a lot of it before now, haven't you? So actually you could just go in and learn some tunes. Well, that sounds like a lovely idea, but that does sound like you're thinking of doing 2 12-week courses and a 6-week course. So
no.
so that's fine. Which is going to be your like big priority? Which one do you think you're going to?
I think I might sort of focus on the modes and the flourishing harpist.
Brilliant. That sounds good to me. Yeah.
And then potentially just say, well, you know, there's some really lovely tunes that I like in level 3, and actually go back and you know, even if I sort of say, well, I'm going to pay £75 and do it.
Yes, yes, and you've got these materials on video that you can watch next year anyway, and you know, so you can do that. But it's that motivation when you're on your own. I get that as well. So
it's sort of energized by being sort of, you know, meeting up as a group. Really,
lovely,
it's a lot different from looking at a screen.
Yes,
you know,
I agree. I agree, and that's why I try and keep that. Well, I do keep that retake rate much lower, because you've already done the course. It's just so you can come along really and have the buzz of being with everyone. So there is always that option. But yeah, okay, so you're going to focus on flourishing harpist, and then you're going to come into the modes, which there are some tunes in that as well that you might want to.
I really like the modes, and I mean, I really like the pop as well, but bearing in mind that I also want to do the hip hop toolkit with DHC.
It's amazing, the hip hop.
I know, so I just thought actually I do have to rein myself in a bit.
Yeah. Okay,
I want
flourishing harpist and modes. Flourishing harpist is your main focus, modes is the second, and then anything else you've got time for.
Because the modes is on Monday, isn't it?
Yes.
So that's also DHC's.
Oh no, is it right? Okay, well, it's only this
so
time,
it's
that
going to be a sort of a quick exit.
2 lessons in one night. Wow. Okay.
I'll be scooting off.
Okay.
But that's okay. I mean, you know, that's not really for you to anticipate.
The modes live sessions, because actually I taught the whole modes as it was. They're going to be more Q&A and kind of just sort of probably we'll do some live improvising around them and things. So you can come and be energized by us and then disappear. And if you miss a bit, it won't matter. I think you'll feel fine about that. Yeah.
And yeah, I think I probably will do the pop next year. I'm always nervous about, well, what's the what will be happening by next summer, and you know, how much less available might I be, etc. But you know, it's not going to go away, I imagine. So
no.
So you know, I'll probably sign up for it, but I may do the alternate weeks just to be
kind to yourself. Yeah.
And also I want to sort of carry on doing a bit more muddling around with my, you know, composing.
Yes.
And so I think those all feed into it, but I also want to have enough time to
actually do that. Yeah.
Do some of that.
That sounds very wise. Well, yeah, I think you're right, actually. Just picking up for others that the modes and the pop course are both, I think, interesting if you are interested in composing for yourself, because they have ideas that you can pinch, not pinch, but you can utilize. They're there, you know, just with some ideas that will feed into that sort of side of things as well. So yeah, thank you. Well, Felicity, I know I'm going to see you lots. I can't wait. And and
obviously do the immersions, but I'm afraid I'll probably miss this weekend because of being away. But I have got a little cardboard harp that someone I bought, so I'm actually taking it with me.
Oh, brilliant. Perfect. Oh, well, you might manage a little bit.
Take it to the beach, and it doesn't really matter, does it, if it's, well, it might be raining, of course, in which case cardboard harp's not such a good idea, but hey.
Oh, well, that would be lovely, though, if you can get to play the harp on the beach. It's very nice. And sometimes the wind on the beach really catches the strings, and you get the Aeolian harp sound, and it's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's sort of my dad's would have been his birthday, and it was his favorite place, so I would like to see if I can create some little tune or other.
I'm sure that you will. You're going, yes, that's lovely. Oh, well, we look forward to hearing the results of that too. Fantastic.
Lovely.
Thank you, Felicity. Well, I shall see you lots. It's great to see everyone. Yeah, it's great to see you too. Thank you. Fine. Okay. So last but not least, Kate. I think you all know Kate actually pretty much. Kate will probably be in everything, but I'd love to know, Kate, what your main focus is going to be.
Good question.
Well,
I think my main focus is going to be trying to keep up.
yes. Yeah. Okay. Fine. I agree. Well, what have you done? You've done flourishing harps a lot. So for you, you've done modes
Yeah.
only because modes and pop are in beta.
Yeah,
I suppose it makes
definitely,
sense for you to
yeah.
spend your time on modes and pop, or one of those,
Definitely
or both.
modes.
Brilliant. Okay, then this term as your main focus, and then you can come along if you wanted to the live sessions with the others, because you
Yeah.
know that they work multi-level, and that you know, there's always something to be got out of repeating something, even if it's repeating a homework task you've done for me 6 times. We always find something new to say about it.
It's amazing how you can retake a task,
Yes,
and still find something new that you didn't do, or you weren't doing, and you just think, wow, I thought I cracked that.
well, you do, and that's the beautiful thing about music, is we crack things, but
And then
there's
you
always
move on.
something else we
Yeah.
can add on, can't we? I mean, that is one of the absolutely amazing things about music. But
Yeah.
okay, so Kate, well, I think then we will see you. I will probably see you on most of the sessions, but a Monday night's going to be your big night, isn't it? Then it's going to be the
Yeah.
night where you're working on your modes and your pop. Amazing.
Yeah, I probably won't see you on Sunday nights
Of course not. No, you'll be traveling.
because I'll be driving. So
Oh
yeah.
no, start the harp without Kate for the
I
first time
know.
ever. How will I cope?
For the first time ever.
Oh no. Someone else is going to have to take over the baton of like helpful tips. Who am I going to put in charge of helpful tips and start the harp then for this term? Well, lots of you actually, all of you here have done at least 1 or 2 courses, so you can all help everybody else, can't you? Is that all right? Okay. You can be the team of people to help. I hadn't thought about that, Kate. Right. Okay, brilliant.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, well, I'm sorry
know.
I've overrun everyone by 10 minutes. I have spoken to everyone, haven't I? Is that right? Yes, I have. Okay, so this weekend is the Harp Weekend. You can dip into it or not, whatever you want to choose, but the immersion course is part of your full year program on the Sunday. If you can't make it, still take the invitation, say yes, and then you'll get the recorded videos in the following week when I upload them, so that you can watch them at your leisure. I'm going to send out the Technique Booster course. Most of you have subscribed, I think, already, but for any of you who haven't, you can start looking at that straight away, just so that you've got something to look at before we officially begin. And then on the 19th, that's when everything, all the 12-week courses start, and then I'm just going to check the date for the others. It's the 27th, isn't it, for the 6-week courses then. You will get the invitations the week prior to those live courses. And I'll say it again, think of me as your mad harp teacher in the local village hall. I will always be there when I say I will be. If you don't get a message from me until like 4 hours before, you will get it with the Zoom links. I try and send them out earlier, but every now and then I'm a mother of 2, and sometimes with 2 young children, so sometimes I'm a little bit later than I'd like to be. But do know I'm always there, aren't I, guys? I'm always there when I say I'll be. Yes, okay, fine. So panic ye not, the message will come and we will be there. But yes, so I very much look forward to this. It's a really busy term. I'm really excited, and I'm excited about this weekend too. If you can support the 8 o'clock concert on Sunday in any which way, by inviting people or by coming, that would be amazing. And yeah, I can't wait to carry on. So why don't we say goodbye to anyone watching the replay out loud, if you want to unmute, and then I'll stop record and we can chat informally. You guys can chat informally if you want to. So bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Take care.
Thank you.